Welcome everyone to another episode of The Twist. I am your host chaostopia, and today we are going to be go ahead and look, and we're going to recap the week 3 and preview week 4. This was a bit later than I planned. Also, I was just about to go and basically record this on my computer microphone, but that unfortunately broke. So if you guys don't understand wondering what's going on, I went ahead and I'm basically kind of using my phone mic. Yeah, I basically connected to one of my alt accounts, so I'll be good to go. Anyways, where is it? All right. So week 3 recap when it happened. We played the Justin Jackrabbits, and what we need to get happen was some plays that pretty much to make sure you guys get stops and take away really the passing game, right? So we did win by a final score of 47-35, but it was a closer game than the final score in should initiate status because of course Sealable he came out today and ball 15 for 30 for 25, 397 yards and 6 touchdowns. Prowling his first game as a twister had 200 of those for 4 touchdowns. Overall, our team was pretty much getting the job done. That's a facing off against that offense of Justin, they went ahead and they came out firing as I kind of expected them to do. Confide went 24 for 39, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns against 2 picks. And the 2 picks we'll actually get to in a bit. But yeah, he pretty much was going ahead and he was quick firing. But I did say that it only took that it should have gone ahead and edge. We just need to basically take away that. While we weren't able to do that, we were able to actually play some exceptional defense when it needed to happen towards the end of the first half. With Vicus getting a much needed interception that he turned into like a 90-yard pick six, and then Parker getting the interception on the last play of the half. So it's a nice way to go and basically go out. You can actually check out the highlight video I actually made myself in the card up on the upper right corner. So now that we basically that happened, we now officially improved to 2-1. And with that, we end up going ahead and we're gonna be playing next week. And our matchup will be up against the 2-1 Dansville Ducks. Looking at the playoff standings, with us sitting at 2-1, we are actually kind of outside looking in. A win here could actually boost us into the playoff rankings as we enter the halftime of the season. So as long as we basically be finished above the 8th seed, I'm not worried about it because that means we can probably relax a little bit. The only issue that we'll have is that if we are the 8th seed, we'll have to do a playing game. And right now in the playing scenario, that will be the Raiders versus the Ducks. Yeah, we're on the outside looking in and so far, if we're looking at our whole thing, we have a point difference. Both teams have an identical point difference with a plus 12. Both 2-1, but the Ducks are 1-1 in their conference, and they actually have had a win-loss record versus teams of 500 plus, which is it's 1-1 for us. Meanwhile, in our loss, we had to go. We only are 0-1 because of the week 1 thing. So there's a strength of schedule, which we do have the harder one, and then the point differential, which is the same. So far they have the lead on us because of that. So anyways, looking at this team, this is actually a team that, although they're a bit under the radar. This is a team that in week 1 upset the Raptors, but in week 2 fell to the Turks, which is understandable so because it's the Turks and Rocky loves to kick ass. as he knows. And then they got a much needed win in the bounce back performance versus the Punishers. So their offense is going to be led by Clan. And Clan, so far this season, 20 touchdowns against 3 picks, which is something to really watch out for. He's not a bad quarterback by any means. I'm not really fully familiar with how he plays. Looking at this one, we'll probably might have to stop the run a lot because assuming that if we need to, because if that's the situation, he has 43 carries, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I do think that in that scenario, we have to go ahead and make sure we really play the pass well and have our DEs go ahead and do well. But this isn't going to be an easy challenge because we're going to be going up against a center. It's either going to be Dark Knight, who actually for some reason they really don't know how to count his stats, or we're probably going to play Chara. And Chara is without a doubt like one of the more better known centers in DE/DE in the league. So no one really tries to face him really one on one. They don't want to deal with them. They don't want to deal with him. So yeah. Meanwhile, for our team, well, for their team, they have JB underscore N as their top guy with 16 catches for 452 yards and 9 touchdowns. They do have B underscore TD. They also have Initiative Chara at tight end. Trip Yagami. So overall, this is pretty much a very underrated roster. Oh yeah, they also got Chu, so this is actually going to be a bit of a rivalry game, a personal rivalry game, which assuming I actually do play. We'll get to Twister's part in a moment, but yeah, looking at this Dansville team, they're not bad on paper. They're literally a bunch of underrated players, and if Clan can actually stay consistent at the season, I do think they can actually make a playoff push. Like Dansville's gotten close these past few seasons, but they fell apart at the end. But yeah. So we're gonna be dealing. So our main focus is we're going to be dealing with Clan, Chara, Baltimer, a lot of those guys. Yeah, this is not really a bad team on paper. This is literally just without a shadow of doubt one of the more underrated teams in the league. So yeah, so this is literally something that we're gonna have to deal with. Meanwhile, that's for them though. Look at their block. Look at the defense, their coverage stuff. Deleting corners BTD with 2 picks. Clan actually has 2 picks himself. Chandeliers has an interception. So yeah, this is actually going to be a team to really talk about. And hopefully we can get the job done. Anyways, looking at our offense, is coming off perhaps a very important game. That was literally just perfectly summed up. He so far has 800 yards and 12 touchdowns against 0 picks on the year. So he's basically kind of putting up a bit of an old stat line, but so far he's done pretty good. No picks so far this year, so that's something that we all like to see, and I want to congratulate Heel on that. So our main focus is that we don't turn the ball over versus the Ducks. Heel has done good with that so far, so that probably won't be an issue. Wide receiver wise, we are going ahead. We're gonna roll into this game. We had Maxi Bounds for a game. Emirates is showing off to be a good wide receiver and a good tight end. And he has, but our main guy that we're probably going to have to look out a lot for, assuming that we'll end up having him for the game, and now that's going to be good old Prowling, who after a lackluster first 2 weeks had that breakout performance in week 3. So hopefully we'll also have Julio Sama and the rest of those guys in. ASL's done very great blocking wise. And of course, Cope Briggs has had his moments too. We also got Kwanya from the Freedom, so that's also a great sign. So a bit of a younger core with we went from like kind of a younger core to more experienced players. And then we also got to go into the talk of the whole thing. I'm gonna officially announce this. I have been officially activated onto the active roster for the team, so I've been trying to go ahead and basically practice whenever I can. So if things can align well, I probably will be playing tomorrow versus the Ducks. And if I am, I'm not sure basically what the role is going to be, but I'm just hoping I don't have to do anything too much. Just trying to at least to get into the swing of things. But yeah. Lacey was kind of skeptical about it at first because he thought basically, like in the team's active probably wasn't really allowed to play, but literally I'm locked to the Twisters, so it's literally executive contract. I'm also going to make it also a player contract, so I'm playing both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm hope I can go ahead and get some play time. That nothing too crazy on my part, but we shall see how this game is going to go. I do think that we do have the edge, or I feel like that we have the more experienced roster a bit. Like, what I mean is that we have some good players. We have guys that basically are ready for this whole thing. I mean, Emirates, he's ready for this whole part. Prowl. Listen, we keep adding basically more fire. We brought in attack damage. We have Quan. Vicus is still good. Coprix is still good. ASL, a phenomenal player himself. So yeah. So what we do pretty much this week, that's literally going to go ahead and make the key difference. Yeah, I do hopefully feel that if after this game, if we do get the win and someone else might end up leaving the team, I probably might. Hopefully, we could end up vouching to go ahead and bring in a Hall of Famer that basically has been known to pick off stuff every time. I haven't seen it. We haven't seen him playing the cool minute and all that, but it would be nice to actually see the man go ahead and basically ball out. King Andy, if you're watching this, and if we do get a win, I'll pitch out the idea. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today's episode. Nothing too crazy, but before we head out, we got more merchandise available. So thank you to all the guys who were able to go and make it. Especially to Revolta, especially to Parker, and also especially to who am I forgetting here? Oh yes, also to Numa, who basically created our team sweater. So the Kings of the Southwest, we are ready to go ahead and go. Portland, Oregon. We'll see you guys for week 4 against the Dansville Ducks. So check out the new merch space we have down below in the description. Until then, this is Chaostopia, and hopefully I'll go ahead and see you all next time. Until then, Saddle up, saddle out, peace out, let's go.